Workstation Wellness Tribe. I'm physiotherapist Kim Siddons, and I'm here today with some top tips for you to take strain off your body when you're sitting at your desk. These are some things I see regularly, people making the common mistakes sitting in their office, working away at their computer. And I thought I'd share with you today just some simple things that you can do, some simple little tips that you can take away. Check if you tend to be guilty of doing these things. And I've got some action steps for you to do to change up the way you do it so that you're more regularly taking load off your body, particularly your back, neck and shoulders, which are the common areas I see people complaining of strain in their bodies themselves. So firstly, if you're working on a laptop, and many of you will have monitors in your office, but if you're working on a laptop out and about or from home, I commonly see people beavering away on their laptop down like this. It's very difficult when you're typing and looking down at a screen to take load off your neck and shoulders. So here's a tip for you. You won't necessarily have a 2-level station like I do, but if you can imagine just putting your laptop up on a box, it might be a shoe box or even a specific laptop raise that I love to use. You firstly need to invest in a separate keyboard and mouse. So for well under $100, or maybe even lying around your house or office, you might be able to find a separate keyboard and mouse. And because when we type, we have to have our hands down here, or we need to have our hands down more at elbow height, yet we need to look at our screen at eye height, you really need to separate the two. So find yourself a separate keyboard, find yourself a separate mouse, so you can then place your laptop up on a shoebox or even a specific laptop raise so that your screen can be more at eye height. So you can see I've got it up on my little second tier of my desk here because this is a sit to stand desk. You could find a shoebox or some other box at home that could raise your screen so that's at least closer to eye height. Or here's my favorite laptop raise. This is so light and portable, it weighs next to nothing. I carry it around in my laptop bag, and with just a little flick of a switch and putting that there, I can then sit my laptop right up to eye height for me. Sorry about the screech. And so I can work away with my laptop screen at eye height and have my keyboard and mouse down at the best typing height for me, so that I'm not straining down to look at my screen. Or I've actually even seen people raising typing with their hands up here to their laptop instead of having the keyboard down here, and that's also no good for your back, neck and shoulders, and particularly your wrists. To be typing up that high, you need to have them separated. So that's top tip number 1, is to, when you're using a laptop, separate the screen and the keyboard. Now I've got some extra training for you today because we're talking about strain particularly this month. Since it's Tradies Health Month, I've been talking, well it is in Australia, I've been talking to lots of tradies about some tips to take load off their back, neck and shoulders while they work. And so I'm like, well, what about my desk workers? They would probably also like some tips to take strain off their back, neck and shoulders in addition to just the laptop tip. So I often see people using notebooks, which is fantastic. There's nothing wrong with a common old notebook. But often when people are using documents or notebooks where they work, they twist to use it like this. Or they'll either have it like this and they'll be twisting to right, or on the other side they'll be twisting to right or look down at their notebooks when they're working. So this is my top tip for you. You preferably need to have your notebooks centralized, okay? So if you've got, maybe you've got a raised surface, or you can just prop your laptop, prop your notebook in front of you between your monitor and your keyboard and rest it there, that's fantastic. It might even be sturdy enough for you to write on, but at least when you're copying off documents, you can place it there central so you're not twisting to look at it or twisting to copy. If you would like to write on it and that surface is not sturdy, you can actually use, it doesn't really fit here, but lots of people can fit ring binders in front of them between their monitor and their keyboard to prop up their documents when they're using them to write on or even to copy off. So I've seen lots of engineers and architects use that sort of mechanism with some, just some ring binder documents to prop their notes up on like that. Or even better, gold standard is to have a microdesk. These are great not only for office workers but for students who need to write and copy off notes, and it is great for your creativity and your memory to actually write while you work. There's lots of research behind that. So if you've got a microdesk, or if you're interested in looking at one, I'll put the link in this Facebook Live for you to do that. Prop your documents up here. They're purposely designed, and there's different little side accessories for whichever type of desk you've got, but they're purposely designed for you to be able to write on. So to bring your documents closer to you, so you can still see your computer screen. This actually slides under the base, so you can have your keyboard wherever you'd like, underneath, even partly underneath your microdesk, and away you go, writing on or copying off the documents at your desk. So no more twisting to write, no more looking down and turning your neck or being in a sustained poor posture at your desk when you're needing to write or read off or look at documents. All right, so that's tip number 2. Tip number 3 is more to do with things that you might even do around the house, but often you might be inclined to do this at the office. And it's to do with positioning things and lifting and carrying load. So say if I was sitting here at my desk and I wanted to use my printer or a shredder or grab some documents or go to the filing cabinet, I would not really want to be reaching and sustaining a twisting posture. That is going to put load on my back, neck and shoulders. And especially if you've actually got to stay there and punch in some numbers or reach open a filing cabinet and get into that, that is obviously putting strain on different parts of your body. It's much better to take the time, and you should be on a rolling office chair. Take the time to roll your office chair directly in front of, so you're much closer to the load or the position that you're needing to work from. So even if we want to take that another step forwards, if your chair doesn't roll or you can't get in a healthy position in a healthy posture to position yourself so you don't take load on your body, you just have to get up. And let's face it, we're talking about regular movement at our desk. We want to get up. Use that as a little trigger to get up and move. So you might actually, and I'll crouch down so you can see me, you might then move in front of your document holder, your positions, your filing cabinet, your printer. Get up and about, start to get away from your desk. Now, if you did have to lift and carry some load, please don't do these ones. Please don't reach out and lift, whether it's reaching out to lift your kids, whether it's reaching out to lift the washing basket, anything you might do in your day-to-day life. Please put yourself in a split stance. You want to be as upright as possible as you can to keep a nice curve in your back and not be bending forwards. I see so many people coming in with lower back, particularly disc injuries from having leant forwards to pick something up. It's disastrous. We need to prevent yourself being in all that pain and strain and disability from injuring your low back. Get yourself in a split stance. Bring your load closer to you, as close to you in this sort of, elbow to pelvis area you want to be to lift your load. So get your knees down, get in your split stance, get your load nice and close, whether it's shopping or the washing basket or the children. You're in a much safer position to lift. So there you go. They're your top tips. I think we've covered 4 in the end, if we can include lifting. Top 4 tips to take strain off your body at your desk. But not only at your desk, think about all the things you do during your day-to-day life that you could really benefit to think about when you're doing some lifting, some reaching, some positioning, any sort of straining, and make sure you keep your posture more upright and take the strain off your body to prevent the injury in the first place. It actually is much less expensive than sorting it out with treatment, coming to see a physio like me in the clinic afterwards. So let's keep ourselves healthy, get ourselves nice and strong, think about what we're doing in our day-to-day lives, and keep ourselves injury free. I hope those tips have helped. Please grab all the information I've popped in here below. I've got a free video training on the 5 simple steps you can use to combat pain and strain at your desk. There are different tips and training to this. They're more about improving your posture and how to keep yourself healthy while you're at your desk. And also I've put in there the link to the little document holder and the laptop raise that you can get from me free of shipping within Australia. Easy peasy, they're the best around. I know, I do the research. And I'd love to hear how you go with our 4 tips from today. So have a great week. Till next time, keep healthy, my Workstation Wellness Tribe, and I shall see you next week for another Lunch and Learn. Bye.